Actually, guys, can you give me 1 minute? Can I take that call?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Mike and I are ready to do this podcast with Gerald, and he walks away. Too big, too important for talking to Mike and I.
I get it.
It's good to be the Gerald, I guess, but
All right, sorry about that.
no problem. But hey, everybody, welcome to Squat Cobbler number 90. I'm Kelly Toole at KELLYTHUL on Twitter.
I'm Mike at Official Pagan on everything, but just go to Instagram. It's really the only thing I'm on.
And joining us tonight is Gerald Webb. Say hi to the folks, Gerald.
Hi, guys. I'm Gerald Webb, which is Gerald Webb pretty much anywhere you go. I'm the same guy on all those places.
And so I got some confessing to do. Last Squat Cobbler, our intent was to have Gerald join us. And as I was getting everything set up, I copied the link to the Hangout and I sent it to Mike. And I copied it again and I put it in the field that would send it to Gerald, but I neglected to ever hit enter. So Gerald never got the link. And much later in the evening, he's following up about what happened. And I was like, I sent you the link. And then I looked and saw that I was close. And so I'd like to point out I was like 95% of the way there. So that's pretty good, I think.
I just think that shows how far you will go, what length you will go to disappoint me. So thank you for going that far.
The night's young. So we've got opportunity. So this time, Gerald actually is joining us. This is our intent is to have this Squat Cobbler come out this Friday before what was our original planned date for the live tweet of Staged Killer. But there have been some developments, so I thought maybe I'd just hand it over to you, Gerald, to kind of explain yourself.
Well, we're really excited about Stage Killer. It's great because it's director Chris Olin Ray and Mai as a producer. Chris also produced. It's our first project that we've done that's world premiering on Netflix. So we're really excited about that. We did it in conjunction with a company called Real One Entertainment. And we're told that today was the release date, Tuesday the 25th. So we've been promoting it. We set up a date with you guys for Saturday to do this first like Netflix tweet sync where we watch the movie on Netflix all in sync and tweet about it with the cast and the crew live. And we were really excited about it. But today, for some reason, the movie is not available on Netflix yet. And we've reached out to our partners to kind of ascertain why. So we're not quite sure. We know it's not coming out today because it didn't, if it's going to be coming a little later this week or if they've pushed the date. So we're trying to get an answer. Hopefully it's just pushed a day or two and then we can still keep our event on for Saturday. And if we cannot, then as soon as I find out a date, I would love to reschedule with you guys if you guys can still do this Netflix tweet sync with us.
Absolutely. I will speak for Kelly and say that we can both do that.
Awesome.
On this topic, you may. So.
And I want to offer like our sincerest apologies to everybody out there because it seems like a ton of people were really excited about it. All of our cast, Chriselle Hartley has been tweeting about it, Jason Dolly, Nicole Bilderback, Darren DeWitt Henson. They've all been really pushing it, and now all their fans and all of us are a little disappointed because we don't really know kind of what happened, but the film's just not available today. So please accept our apologies on that, and we're doing everything we can, and we'll continue to get this sorted out, get an answer, get a new date, and make sure that you guys get to really experience this film as soon as possible.
Yeah. Based on the trailer, I'm looking forward to it very much. So that'll be very cool. Hopefully everything works out awesome and it's a day or two push and we're good to go. Or maybe if it's a little bit longer, that's cool too. If for some reason things have really gotten tangled up, Gerald, you and I had a chance to chat a little bit earlier. And at some point, if we get into an indefinite delay, you were thinking maybe we'd want to try a different movie because I think one big piece is obviously very proud of the movie and we want to do this connection there. But the other item I think is you're not sure and I'm not sure either. I've really not seen anybody try and pull off a Netflix Twitter live sync deal before. So you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So, honestly, it was born out of my interaction with you guys in the Snark Alex for so many years. I can't count the number of hours that I've spent live tweeting during a movie or a TV show where you guys were live tweeting making fun of me. It's really great and disheartening at the same time.
That's how working with Kelly makes you feel.
Yes. And unfortunately, it's not just Kelly. It's all the Snark Alex like to pile on. So it's great. But usually when we do that, it's some premiere on some network. And everybody kind of tunes in on the network. And we know it's all starting at the same time because the network's sending the signal out. And, we tweet and talk about the movie and joke around, and it's a lot of fun. So then this movie comes along and I'm like, well, how do we do that with Netflix? I'm like, well, the good news is most people have Netflix or access to it. So we can all watch it. The question is, how do we like live tweet with it? So I thought of this idea. I said, why don't we almost like do a countdown, get everybody to start the movie at exactly the same time. Now I know there'll be a little buffering issues and everybody's internet is, some people are still on, AOL, DSL or whatever. But hopefully it'll be kind of in sync or close to being completely in sync. And we can all kind of watch the movie together via Netflix and do a live tweet. And I was able to get a bunch of the cast and the crew to agree to come on board. And, just so that we could kind of have this fun and kind of have this new angle on it where it's not just a broadcast television thing. It's us choosing a time, coordinating it, in this case, via Netflix or whatever streaming, channel we may use in the future. And, having the same kind of fun that we do when we would just do a live tweet on a broadcast TV show.
I think it'll be good. I'd like to, point out that, I'm usually very supportive of you, Gerald, and it is the other Snark Alex that are mean. I think there was just maybe one time that I might have commented on a shirt or something. But
I think that may be the biggest time. That shirt actually is in a window box hung in my office. It's reminding me to always be humble because you can have your big break in TV and be really excited because you're doing a scene with Ving Rhames and Taryn Manning and Eddie Steeples. And then you can have the internet profusely make fun of you and humble you really fast because of what you wore.
By the internet, he means just Kelly.
Yeah, I am the internet. No, it was not alone. But I do think you bear a little blame there, Mr. Webb, though, because as I recall, one, thank you for all of your participation in the past, because it really does increase the enjoyment when we're doing that. When you have somebody who was part of it, playing along, going back and forth, it's just so much better that way. But as this was coming up, you were spinning it pretty hard. You were talking about, hey, this is coming, and I'm in it, and you guys are going to really enjoy it. It's amazing. And you were in it very briefly. Very, very briefly.
My involvement was brief but mighty, number one.
I would agree.
Two, I looked up the Ving Rhames for years. I mean, that guy's worked with Tarantino. He was in Pulp Fiction. He's incredible. So I was excited because he was like that big time at the time, because this is 10 plus years ago, this big A-list style actor that I was getting to, act one-on-one with, in a scene. I mean, imagine, Kelly, if you got to do a scene with Orlando Bloom. I mean, imagine how excited you would be and how much you would hype it up.
That's true. But my point was you knew your exit was like rapidly early, and it was awesome. But because you were like there right at the start, and it was like, there's Gerald, and then Gerald's gone. You did go out with a bang, and it was cool. And we're just not going to talk about Orlando Bloom tonight because I just don't see the point. So we will be keeping everybody posted on Twitter. Follow the hashtag. We'll be doing Stage Killer. And I think, what's the term you're using for this mashup of Twitter and Netflix?
I created a hashtag that I don't know I created it. Maybe someone else has tried this before. I don't know. But as I did a search, I couldn't find anything. Hashtag Netflix tweet sync.
Okay.
Netflix tweet sync.
So we'll be using both of those hashtags on our post. We'll be keeping people up to date. Fingers crossed that everything works out really well. And we're going this Saturday. If not, we will regroup and we will definitely get this done. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And looking forward to, as we do it, getting feedback from everybody on how we could do it the next time better, coordinate all those types of things. But it's going to be really fun. So we'll just have to wait and see a little bit how things play out. And I said, again, hopefully this Saturday we're ready to go.
And just so you know, at some point, we should do one of these with our film Circus Kane. So we'll figure. We'll get this one done, and then we should do a Circus Kane one as well.
I think that sounds like a great idea.
It's right up the Snark Alex alley. Circus Kane.
Cool, Mike. You've been unusually quiet this episode. like to hand the microphone to you to speak.
Oh, I appreciate that, sir. So I have a couple of questions for Gerald. The first one is, when you started production on this film, because I know people are going to be interested in sort of the backstory, that might be too much to get into tweeting. When you started production on this, did you know it was going to be a Netflix premiere, or is that something that came about during the distribution process?
Yeah, that came out. Kind of what happens sometimes with these films. We did not know. We did this film completely independently. And then a distributor named Real One Entertainment came in and basically purchased the film. And then they go out and they try to promote it and sell it. You know, they have all those relationships so that they ultimately were able to get a deal done with Netflix. And the funny thing is, many times when we make some of these movies, we have this complete involvement with it. Not all the time, but we have this complete involvement with it where we get the movie done. And then sometimes it sells and we have technically have nothing really to do with the film other than we, of course, want to support it and promote it. So it was kind of one of those things where we did a lot of the work, helped get the film, got the film made, got the film delivered. And then our partners take the film and they run with it. And in this case, they were great about keeping us aware of where they sold it to. But there are times when on some of our films in the past where it's like I have a cast member or a fan tell me something about the film that I didn't even know. Like, it's specific to this movie. There was a trailer for it that got released that one of the cast members found and was like, "Hey, can I tweet this trailer out?" And I'm like, is it on a public website? Sure. Thanks for sharing it with me.
I mean, I think that's mostly how Kelly Toole's sex tapes are circulated as well.
I don't know anything about short films, but, maybe.
God, I'm not sure which of you I hate the most, but it's close.
So speaking of Kelly's acting chops, if you didn't know, Gerald, Kelly did last year appear in a documentary that was #1 on Amazon Prime. He would never mention it on the show because he's too humble a man to do that. But this documentary reached #1 on Amazon Prime Video. And recently, he made his scripted acting debut in a promo video that I believe you've seen, sir. Now, you've done a great deal of producing, casting. Would you have any notes on Kelly? Is Kelly somebody that you would cast in one of your films?
Well, first off, I want to applaud Kelly for putting himself out there and attempting to do some more acting. So first off, congratulations, Kelly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I did get to see this video, or at least a portion of this video. It was like a promo of it. And I have to say, Kelly, when I watched it, I thought of a new nickname for you.
Okay.
Your new nickname, because of your brilliant performance in this, is Silent Fire, a.k.a. Trailblazer Kelly Toole.
Well, that could have been worse. So that was all right.
No, I like it. Silent Fire is good.
Listen, you have to understand. The 1.6 seconds with which you graced the screen in silence was by far the most intense 1.6 seconds of film that I will ever forget.
That's right. So that was, and I've tried to make that point that I carried it. There's not a lot of support for that. In my defense, it was always intended to be a silent
Did you repeatedly stand up between takes and go, I was #1 on Amazon Prime Video.
What am I doing at the back of this table? Damn it. But the individual featured in this video knew that the audio was not going to be recorded, so he decided it would be good to lead that table in a conversation about the relative merits of firing me from my employer. And so that's the conversation that's actually occurring. So when it does appear like I'm smiling through pain, it's because I was.
Okay. Well, I must say you did a fantastic job of that.
Yep. That was good. Well, I appreciate that. So I'm now regretting the fact that I gave Mike some time to ask questions. But what the heck, Mike? Do you have anything last one to wrap it up for this week?
I like how you're trying to wrap it up now. You're like, okay, well,
yeah, we're done. We're done. We're absolutely done.
If we can't get this film, maybe we can do a live tweet sync of Kelly's performance on Saturday.
I would love to do that.
I have a wardrobe stylist I will have come see you for that.
I'm going to rip the video and make a special edit that when he comes on screen, a little notation comes up, #1 video on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. So, hey, on that note, gang, we're going to wrap up this week's podcast. You will hear from us on Twitter. We'll hashtag it up. We'll do everything we can to keep everybody aware of what's going on. Fingers crossed it's this Saturday. If not, it'll be soon. You'll be kept fully informed. Probably the best way would be to subscribe to this YouTube channel or to our podcast or those types of things, and you'll always be connected, and we're really looking forward to it. And thanks for joining us today, Gerald.
Oh, you're always welcome, guys, anytime. Thank you for having me.
And thank you, everybody, for listening.
All right, I'm going to stop the broadcast.
Actually, guys, can you give me 1 minute? Can I take that call?